Hey guys, welcome to the show. This is David at Lunar Beaches on Twitter. And you can find me also on YouTube. You're watching this on YouTube, you're watching this on my channel, and that means you should subscribe and you should like this video if you end up liking it, or dislike it twice. Hit that dislike button twice if you just really dislike this video. Got it. But anyway, it doesn't really matter, like or dislike. Hey, you know, it helps me in the YouTube algorithm, and that's cool. Cool. All right, so guys, right now we are in the depths of the Bitcoin and crypto bear market. The question on everybody's mind is, what is the bottom? When is the bottom? How do we find the bottom? How low can it go? How low can it possibly go? And I'm going to try and find, you know, some areas of interest of where I think the bottom could possibly be. Now, you might notice some edits in this video, and that's because I have been dealing with a, I guess you would call it some kind of congestion, probably bronchitis. Tested negative for C19, so that's good. But I got myself a Z-Pack, an inhaler, and some cough medicine, and I'm powering through, all right? Powering through. I got to go to work tomorrow. It's going to be over 100 degrees heat index, and I can already barely breathe as it is. But, you know, you got to make money, especially in a bear market. So let's just go ahead and dive right on in. Bitcoin, as it stands right now, stands at $21,076. This is per the Bitstamp chart. Let's just go ahead and zoom in real quick. Take a little ganderino. And we have, let's just go down to the dailies, see what we're looking like there. All right, so as you guys can see, we've definitely been having some massive moves as of late. Right here is the Luna crash, this whole thing right here. I don't know why that's acting so wonky. But this right here, that's the Luna crash. And this is the apparent Celsius crash. And there was one of those cuts. I just coughed along up. So yeah, that's the Celsius crash. If you guys don't know what that is, we're going to get into that in this video. But first, before moving on, I first want to say, please head on over to the Crypto Investigators Twitter, and then go over here and click that Discord link and go into the Discord and shill us coins. And when you shill us coins, you go to the cryptos to look at channel, shill us coins, we throw them up for a vote, and then the ones that get the highest votes within a week, we make videos on them. Now, we haven't made videos in a while, and you know, it's just, you know, I think it's just that there's a lot that has been going on lately. So just in everybody's private lives and personal lives, and also just in crypto in general. So, you know, kind of having to navigate this all, but we'll be all right. We'll get through it, and we'll only get through it together. And yeah, so yeah, just go over to Crypto Investigators at C Investor Gators, and follow the Twitter account and join the Discord. who are the crypto investigators. We are a group of like-minded cryptocurrency enthusiasts building a community with the goal of exploring different blockchain projects and technologies with you in real time. Crypto investors investigating cryptos. Catchy. Back to Bitcoin. We see this dive, like I pointed out earlier. And as you can see down here below, we've got a market cap of $920 billion. So we're below the $1 trillion mark. With volume sitting at about 73 billion. I guess that's an average because it says 7-day, but yeah, so you can see the downward slope on that market cap. Hard, starting right in here. Started sliding really hard. But hey, further we go down, the closer we get to the bottom. Yay, right? Is that how it works? Who knows? All right, so let's go ahead and let's go back to the weekly chart. So I just want to go over a couple things and let's try and find out if we can see where we might possibly find a bottom. All right, first things first, we're going with the fib. We're going from the bottom of the bear market 2018 to the top of 2021, and now we're coming down. Now we've already pushed through the 702, which means I think we're likely to come back down here to the 0.786 at the very least, which resides at the 17,364 mark. Now I know that's a little difficult to read, but trust me, that's what it says. 17,364. And, I don't think that is out of the question. As a matter of fact, I think it is more likely than not. It's not a guarantee. It's not financial advice. That's just how I see that. So, and then we also have at the 0.888, $10,571. And the interesting thing about the 0.888 is that if we go from the top to the 0.888, it's almost right exactly 85% drawdown. So 84.77%. I mean, anybody that's been following Bitcoin, just did it again. Anyone that's been following Bitcoin for any amount of time, they know the significance of this drawdown, of this pullback or this top, because in history, from the 2017 peak to the 2018 bottom was 84.63%, and in 2014 to 2015, actually that was December 2013 to January 15, that was 86.68%. So from the very peak of the bull run to the bottom of the bear market, 86.69%. Moving on up here, pull down, 84.63%. Then we come back down right at the 0.888 at 10,571. And I think that this might be our bottom. Could be, possibly. It makes a lot of sense to me. Another reason why this one makes a lot of sense to me, outside of those two indicators. Well, first, let's go ahead and do a fib on this real quick and see where that pulled down to. See, that didn't quite get to the 888 down there, so, but it did come in between the 0.786 and the 0.888. And if we go from this drawdown to this drawdown, comparing these two together, this was a smaller drawdown, So this was more parabolic, and you have a bigger drawdown. And this one was not as parabolic as this when you consider like percentages, and you had a slightly smaller drawdown. And then now, if we come down here and we pull this down, and we come to somewhere between these two again, which would also put us at the tip right here. There was some support, turned resistance right over here also. So I don't see this out of the realm of possibility, just right smack dab at around 80% drawdown from the all-time high, somewhere in this range right here, which would put us somewhere between, let's just say 12.5 and 13.5. So that's something that I would be watching, and maybe this would probably be, because look, this just kind of actually seems like a gap that needs to be filled between 11.9, so about 12 and 14,000, somewhere in that range. I think that makes a lot of sense for a bottom in here. So let's go ahead and throw up the EMA ribbon. And as you can see in the past, well, first let me just go ahead and say that, so the red represents 400 EMA. This pinkish red represents a 350 EMA. This peach, I guess, represents the 300 EMA, 250, 200, 100, 50, and 20. So, and this is on the weekly chart. And back in the very bottom of the 2017 bull run, where we bottomed out in 2018, that was the 300 EMA, sorry, 300 EMA, and we've already fallen below that in here. So, and then, so the next stop would be at about $19,000 at the 350 EMA, which we did come down to during the C19 crash. And that was a black swan event, and we're having some black swan events happening again and again in here. So the only difference so far right now, I believe, is the volume in here. So we're not seeing the crazy amounts of volume like we do have here when this capitulation came in here, and here when this capitulation came in here. We don't have that same kind of volume down in here. You also have this capitulation here, and you'd have those massive wicks up in here. Not wicks, but candle bars, or whatever you want to call them for the volume. So what's it going to be? Are we going to come down? Are we going to come down to the 400 weekly EMA, down to the 786 and pop up? It doesn't look like we can't go back further than right here on the 400 EMA. We just can't. We don't have that much history, so we don't know if it can go all the way down to the 400 EMA. We just don't. All right, so there's that. So yeah, we're kind of just waiting and seeing. Let's go ahead. Let's take these off of here. So we see that that's well below the EMAs here. Now, what can happen, what we can start to see up in here, is, let's see what happens. So the last time the 20 crossed the 50, after a big move like this, the 20 crossed the 50, right? And then we had a plunge down, just like 20 crossed the 50, plunge, plunge. 20 crossed the 50 here, plunge, right back out. So, seeing as how we're having this kind of extended plunge, we've gone deeper than we did back in 2018. Yeah, just I think the macro view of everything is really pulling this market down. Just like with the economy, everything going the way it is. We've got the Fed meeting, which is tomorrow. Can't wait to talk about that. Probably we're looking at 50 to 75 basis points hikes on the interest rates. So I've even heard they might go crazy and go 1%, but I don't know, 100 bips, that'd be crazy. But we'll see. We will see, especially given this month's or last month's CPI data, where they showed inflation at 8.6%. Worst since 1981. It's just, I don't know if the Fed wants to go, it is going to want to be more aggressive or not, honestly. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. What if they flip-flop? What if they flip-flop and they reverse? What if they reverse course? What if the bottom's already in? But typically, I mean, if you look, I mean, we nailed this EMA right here, and we nailed this EMA right here. So what I think we might see, God, my voice kind of cracked right there. Did y'all hear that? Well, I think that's because of this garbage. But what I think we might see is Fed very hawkish, come out very hawkish. We have a nice final capitulation wick down to the 400 EMA. I know that's not exact, but down here to the 400 EMA. I wish this thing would, there we go. Down here, capitulation wick, and then probably go sideways for a really long time, but mostly up into the right. And then we have some kind of breakout followed by a correction, and then more waddling around, another breakout, correction, and then really get going towards the end of 2023. Come back down to test that high for support, and then the halving happens, and then this thing, well, first it starts doing like this, then we have the halving in April or so. It looks like it's going to go down, and then we take off. Now, I don't know about, 200 something thousand, but this is a general kind of, how I kind of see this market working out is just really just kind of really grind it out until, the next halving. So, which is set for, I believe, March of 2024, March or May of 2024, somewhere in there. And there's usually a nice little dip as soon as the halving occurs, and then supply gets bought up, and then Bitcoin just goes on a tear. That's what typically happens. So given this 20 crossing the 50 here, 20 crossing the 50 here, 20 crossing the 50 here, and we see plunge, plunge, plunge. I gotta say, guys, I think we are pretty close to a bottom, technically. Now, who knows what will actually happen? But yeah, let's just go ahead and see. And even right back in here in 2014, we got the 20 crossing the 50, and we got a plunge, and that's it. That was the end. That's the end of the bear market. Done. So that's what I'm seeing on the charts as far as the EMA goes. Now, the next thing I want to go over, say hello to Bones. Now, the next thing I want to go over is the RSI. So, as many of you have probably already noticed, the RSI is the lowest it has ever been on the weekly. Ever. Except for right here in December of 2011. So 10 years. 10 years, bam, smacking it right there. So that's just another indicator that we are at least close to a bottom, or at least I would think so. It makes too much sense. Every single time we've come into the oversold zone, like here and here, it marked a bottom. So if we come back up here to the chart, this is the bottom right here of the 2015 bear market. This one right here was the bottom of the 2018 bear market. And this one down here, are you going to tell me this is not the bottom? Or at least that we're not close to the bottom? I mean, if you think it's going to go a lot lower, then it's probably not. Because if everybody thinks it's going a lot lower, it's probably not. When Bitcoin hit 3.52, 3 point, whatever, what was the low here? Not there. Here, right here. Or how low did it go during C19? Went down to 38.50. I know everybody thought it was going to keep going. 31.22. So $3,100. I don't know what just happened to my screen. There it goes. $3,100. You can't tell me people weren't thinking it's just going to keep going down. It's just going to keep going down. And it barely even crossed into the oversold territory. So keep that in mind also. So, but also, have anybody else noticed that like over time the volume has gotten smaller and smaller? There's just not a lot of Bitcoins being traded. Bitcoin. Which one do you call it? Tell me in the comment section down below. Also, like and subscribe. And we're back. Okay, so that was weird. Internet's been going in and out tonight, so it is what it is. But anyway, so yeah, so the RSI lowest it has ever been on the weekly. Ever. Other than 2011. And I don't even know if we count that. Do we count that? Right here? Right, like when it was breaking out kind of like for the first time ever. I don't know. I don't think we count that. But this, I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't see why it wouldn't be close to an end. Unless something major happens, another black swan, maybe Celsius actually gets liquidated. And now, speaking of Celsius, let's go ahead and let's talk about that. Now, this is the last thing that I've seen from Celsius, I believe. They've been able to provide enough collateral to bring their liquidation price down to around 14,000. I think that's gone a little bit lower since then. Maybe not. Don't quote me on that, but 14,000 is still pretty low. Now, given that I believe the bottom will be around $17,000, probably $200. Just going over what we've already gone through, unless something else crazy happens and pushes us below that 400 EMA. Unless something crazy happens like that, which is not out of the question. Absolutely not out of the question. So don't take from this. David says it's definitely not going below 17,200. No. Don't get me wrong. Like the absolute low is probably around the $10,000 range. But I think that would be a nice fake out. I think people would get faked out and they wouldn't believe that 17,000 was the bottom. And most people would probably believe that it's going much lower. Alright guys, sorry for the weird cut right there. But, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. I'm just going to go ahead and end it there. I think I've built up a little bit, at least on the Bitcoin chart. After the Fed meeting tomorrow, I will go, or I guess today, as I'm recording this, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, but and I gotta edit this and get it uploaded. So fun times. It's okay. I had a nice long nap this afternoon, so and I've been sleeping a lot just in general because I'm sick. But anyway, yeah. So I will. We will take a deep dive into like the macro aspect of everything after the Fed meeting tomorrow, of course, mostly because I'll be at work. But as soon as I get home, I'm flipping this computer on and I am diving into everything because, well, we're going to see, there's going to be a lot of volatility tomorrow, I believe. The question is, which way is it going to be, and how quick will that reaction be? Because the market's going to react, and who knows? I say if it's 50 basis points, we might see a little rally, and then further downside. If it's 75, maybe it holds, and maybe we continue on the soft-ish landing. And if it's 100, well, get ready, because it's going to be a wild ride down. So, but there could be a quick bounce after that capitulative move. And also, I wanted to point out one last thing, is that if this thing pushes down pretty hard, I mean, I know this is a 400-day moving average, it's going to be hard to push it down, but this can get pushed down a little bit, especially if this thing starts cranking up a little bit like this and then comes down. And you could see this kind of maybe round off a little bit and push the price a little lower, but I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be it for me, guys. I'll see you all after the Fed meeting tomorrow. And yeah, hit that like and subscribe. I love you guys. And follow Crypto Investigators. And that's going to be it. Love you guys. Peace out. See you later. Holla.